I am Laura Smith, and I was called to serve in Chihuahua, Mexico for my mission. I was called in 2013. And a little bit of background on that is I had never planned on serving a mission. I had always very adamantly stated to my family that I was not going to be a missionary, but I was going to go to college and I was going to do everything else with my life. And I have a twin brother, and he served his mission in Salt Lake City. And somewhere in the time that he was out on the field and I was kind of hanging out, going to BYU, I got the distinct impression that I needed to serve a mission. The experience was very specific, and I got a very specific answer of serve a mission. There's somebody who needs you. And I think sometimes looking back on that, I wasn't sure if it was somebody specific or if it was myself or my future posterity, but either way, I think the Lord knows who it is that needs you when you're serving your mission. So I think that that's applicable to anybody that's deciding to serve, that there is always somebody that's going to need you. And the Lord definitely assigns you to the mission that is right for you. When I was preparing to serve, I actually met up with some sister missionaries in my hometown. My mom accidentally almost ran them over with her car at a gas station and realized that they were actually the Spanish-speaking sister missionaries for my area. Now, I did not speak Spanish at all, but my mom decided that it would be great if I went out with them to do visits. And so the sisters invited me out with them. This was about 3 months before I left for my mission, so just after I got my call. And it was just insane. It was almost like a pre-training, and I think that it was very much worth it. I made a really deep connection with these sisters, and I still talk to them. I was a bridesmaid in one of their weddings, so it was very special for me to be able to meet up with the sister missionaries before my actual mission and get that experience. Granted, I didn't understand about 80% of their lessons because it was in Spanish most of the time. There were some English lessons, but either way, whether you're serving in a foreign language or you're serving in your own language, it's a huge help to go out and serve with the sisters or the elders, if you're not a sister, in the local area, and just, get that experience, because it was really great for me when I finally got out into the field to have had that opportunity. And I did actually learn to pick up some phrases in Spanish, which was nice, and it was really good ear training for my language skills later, because when I finally arrived in the field, I really felt like I had a leg up. I really felt like I understood more than I probably should have at that point. And I know that it was a spirit, but I also know that it was preparation, because the Lord definitely helps those who help themselves, who prepare. When I was in the MTC, I arrived in November of 2013, and it was an interesting experience for me, because the MTC, when I went there was a West campus. So they were doing this experiment where they put everybody that spoke Spanish onto a different campus than the main MTC area. So we were actually down by Wyview and Raintree here in Provo. And it was very interesting because we were kind of living in a similar area as other BYU students, and I was already a BYU student. So at certain times I definitely felt like I hadn't gone anywhere, and it was a little tricky to feel like a missionary. It helped a lot to focus on why we were there and who we were representing. And I think our teachers were very good about reminding us, you're here for a very specific reason, a very specific purpose, and you're representing a very important person, which is our Savior. So it was a good experience overall in the MTC. We had some great people on West Campus. Everybody there was speaking Spanish, like I said, so you greet people walking by with buenos dias and everything like that, which was really fun.